On your mark, get set, let's go. Oh, yeah, come, we could carry go to do the things you know how to do. But I did beguna jaw. Beguna take them small, small. Let's go.
But let me, as you mentioned, definitely, I just want to congratulate you for being nominated 3 times at Grammy. I mean, I'm really waiting for a winning. I mean, what's going on? Is there some kind of politics or what? Because if I have to go to their office and fight them about it, look, I can do that, okay?
No, the Grammy is more complicated than that. You see, you see, when you are even nominated, they first tell you you are a winner.
Right.
But now, unfortunately, out of the 5 nominations, they have to pick one winner. Now, the outside world is not allowed to vote. Only the Grammy members are allowed. So you don't know the criteria they use to pick the winner. It could be technical reasons. It could be, we don't know what it is. But first of all, the pride of being nominated is already a big deal.
Yes.
So, and then, the way I do my albums are not award oriented in the first place. I just want to do a good album. I think the message I'm singing about is more important than if I'm nominated or I win. If I win, I think that's just a plus. So I don't go into the studio that I'm going after this Grammy. I never do that. Africa for Africa, that was my last nomination. It was really badly produced. It was done under terrible conditions. So when I got a call, I was at the airport in England. We were leaving to somewhere in France, and somebody in America called me and said, "Oh, congratulations." I said, "For what?" "You have been nominated." I said, "For which album?" Said, "Africa for Africa." And I was really shocked that album, I think that's my worst produced album, you know. So probably they sat down and they said, "Oh, the conditions this album was made, this is fantastic." They admired the challenge, the album went through.
Good music.
Yeah, so, but is it good enough to win? Probably they didn't feel it, but on nominations, I was even shocked it even got nominated in the first place.
I think I'm gonna go join the board. Like, I'm gonna, whatever it takes. I'm just kidding, because I mean, seriously. How has Fela on Broadway impacted the legacy of the family?
I think it has been nothing but positive. First, for you to win those awards for theatre art, I think that was fantastic. And I think it has put a lot of pressure on the Nigerian government to recognize my father. As you see now, Lagos State has built a museum in his honor. I hear Ogun State is trying to do something for the family in Ogun State. So it's a name that where politicians will wish will just go away, they can just sweep under the carpet and everybody will forget him. The name just keeps getting bigger and the man is not even alive. Then you have a generation of young people that they talk as if they were very much alive and know the man Fela. Never even met him. They just heard his songs and they have this spiritual connection with him and they just believe, yes, he's there. Baba. So these are things corrupt people and the government wish would just go away. But then you have the Fela player there that is doing so well. Then you have, don't forget the people playing Afrobeat now. You have so many bands playing Afrobeat all over the world. Australia, Japan, America, France, Switzerland, Sweden. Everybody's playing the Afrobeat. So many young people want to be identified with the Afrobeat.
This is not just
England.
Nigerian stuff.
Yeah,
this
so
like...
it's not something that you could say 20 years ago it's from Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. Now it's global and everybody is playing it. In San Francisco, so many, everywhere I meet people saying, "Oh, I love the Afrobeat, I'm playing the Afrobeat." So it's something nobody can wish away anymore. So I think my father should be very happy where he is. The family is happy, and anybody who is a Fela fan and knows this story cannot but be very happy.
You know, and which brings me to my next question is, having lost a few women in your life, grandma, your mom, and your sister who used to be one of your dancers, how did that affect your vision for the future?
I think my mother and my sister especially were very heavy blows. My sister was heavy because I just lost my father. Then I lost my favorite cousin at that time, Frances. And I lost her 2 weeks after my father. So it was like, oh, this is too soon. We are still trying to finish the burial arrangements of my father and she dies. And people were already writing in the papers that we're all going to die. There was a pastor that said he saw a vision that 12 of us are going to die in a row, in a space of a year or so. And after Fran died, it was like, oh, is he right? 2 months later, my sister passes on, and oh, everybody said getting worried. Oh, you all need prayers. You all need to give your life to Christ, blah, blah, blah. I didn't believe this story, but it just shows you the mentality of some people. That when something like this happens, they capitalize on your mind, and they take it to the public and try to just distort the truth. So, but by the time she died, we were still trying to get over my father, my cousin, and then the way she even died was so painful because she was wrongfully diagnosed for bleeding ulcer. She was operated on, and they found out she had cancer. So this was so, we felt very helpless. And then when my mother went in 2002, this was really, because this was a very bad time in my career where I was telling you about the press. They were writing things like Femi has gone mad. They saw him at Ujuelegba walking stark naked, holding a big joint, you know. And even my best friends came to my house knocking, what's all this? And I said, you know, I had a very big fight with some of my, I don't talk to most of them anymore. Because they walked into my house and say, how can you be Ojuelegba naked smoking a joint? And I said, wow, you see what the news, the media can do to distort the career of somebody. You have walked into my house. Am I naked? Am I smoking a joint? Am I well dressed? I've even had my bath. You even look rough. You left your house strongly to come and see the madman Femi Kuti. See how you are dressed. Valerie, you are dressed like a nuisance. You came to see me, well behaved, practicing my horn, and you're asking me, I'm mad. You forgot to comb your hair. You came to challenge me. Look, you didn't comb your hair. He said, no, it's because of you, because of me.
Wow.
I said, no, this is wrong. And we had just finished building the shrine, so there was all these negative stories about me. It was so terrible. I think this was between 1999 and 2004, 5. Oh, it was just terrible times for me.
But I'm glad that you were able to get out.
No, I think it made me a better person.
Yes.
It's because I had to look within myself. I had to shut off the world. So this is another part where, because I stopped giving interviews, I was only touring Europe and America and playing at the shrine. So nobody saw me in Nigeria for a good maybe 4 or 5 years. Nobody knew what I was doing. They would just say, he has been nominated for the Grammy. Where is he?
And they were looking for you.
But nobody, and I never left my house. So I was living in like a confinement, so to say. I stayed indoors for 10 years. I never left my home. Except when I was going to the airport. So nobody saw me. You couldn't see me. I refused to see anybody. So I was at the shrine, airport, my home. Never socialized at all.
Wow. Yeah.
So, but I think I became very close with my kids. But it made me, so nobody knows Femi Kuti anymore, because they have such a very bad impression from what they have.
Social media.
Yes. This is not social media. This is more media or journalism of all these magazines we have. This is not social media like Facebook and all this. This is media of the newspapers. Right. I don't want to mention their names because many of them have apologized ever since then. Those journalists, many of them are even my friends now. Right. So I mean, they made me go through hell for all this period of my life, which I could have committed suicide, which it came across my mind so many times that, wow, what a life. Why do I want to be alive? Why do I want to go through all this? All I wanted to be was a good musician. And
you are. And
I tried.
Yeah. You are. So, I mean, I understand that you mentioned the kids, and I know that you're a family man. Being a family man and traveling all around the world, always going on tour, I mean, how do you handle the kids when they know that, okay, it's time for that to go again?
Yeah, I have a great sister who they are with my sister. So, and my house, there are so many people in my house. There are about 15 adults in my house. I adopted 4 kids. 3 of them stay with me.
Oh, wow.
So they are not like alone. And then 4 of them are with me. Wait, let me see. Let me be right. Yes, 2 boys, 2 girls stay with me. The other girl I don't see. She stays with her mother. My eldest son, he is in England, studying classical music now. So they are very close. They are very close within themselves. That yes, they miss me, but there are so many adults in the house, and then they have themselves to play with. It's not like it's one kid,
Right.
and he or she has no friends.
Right.
So between themselves, they are very close.
They know that is going again now.
Yes,
They are ready to do
they know, they say, Daddy, I go to go and look for money to pay for our school fees. Oh, yes, how do you know? Clap for yourself. Daddy has to pay your school fees.
Okay. So is there any, I mean, would you allow your kids, any of your kids, to follow your footsteps and of course continue the legacy of the family?
On your market set, let's go. Oh, yeah, come, me cook carry go.